present, highly esteemed dignitaries, admired faculties from this university and others, dear students and the guests. A very good afternoon to all of you. This is Mohammad Ziaul Haque, Assistant Professor, University of Creative Technology, Chittagong. I'm going to make it shorter, the slides. This is the very topic that I have before me. Ophelia in Hamlet. The society drives her insane and takes her life away. If you just focus on the title itself, you will have the idea about the entire paper. The society is to be blamed here. The society makes her or drives her mad. That means Ophelia is driven mad by the social agents, the people around her, and takes her life away. In fact, as far as the text book is concerned, we see that Ophelia, it is told that Ophelia commits suicide. This is where I want to just, I have a different opinion. I don't want to consider it as suicide. Rather, I want to replace the word suicide with murder. This is my introduction to the paper. This article will shed most light on Ophelia's madness and her death caused by Hamlet, Polonius, and Laertes. Ophelia, Polonius' daughter and Laertes' sister, is a beautiful girl with whom Hamlet has been in love. She is a lovable and naive young woman. She obeys her father and her brother. As Ophelia is reliant on man, that means she is dependent on man, she surrenders to Polonius' plans to spy on Hamlet. She is the pawn of Polonius, virtuous sister of Laertes, and beloved of Hamlet. The moment these male influences are eliminated, she loses her individuality and becomes crazy or insane. She loses a leading part of herself when her father is murdered by Hamlet. Laertes' hope for her to be virtuous and Hamlet's refusal drive Ophelia more into a condition of madness stimulated by sexual frustration. Therefore, she is made mad mostly by Hamlet, Polonius, and Laertes, and they have gradually led her towards death. In this sense, Ophelia has not committed suicide, rather, she is murdered. So, who is Ophelia? Her introduction: noble woman of Denmark, daughter of Polonius, sister of Laertes, Hamlet's beloved. So she has got certain characteristics and the traits or features, like she is pure, she has purity. Number two, she is childish and immature to a great extent. She is ignorant of the cruel realities of life. Though she really loves Hamlet, she is extremely faithful and submissive to her brother and father. She supports Hamlet and loves him. She is unable to defend herself, and it is clear through her fearful responses that she is suffering within. Once she said, "I do not know, my lord, what I should think." This quote depicts how Polonius simply influences Ophelia. Ophelia is a girl. She lives in a society where she has constant pressure from her father, from her brother, and from the society itself. I mean, all the people around her. They keep on relentlessly pressurizing her. What to do, what not to do. So everything is decided not by herself, by the people around her. That is why she cannot deal with the unfolding of one shocking incident after another, and consequently she becomes mad after hearing about her father's death and ultimately drowns. This is how gorgeous our very own Ophelia looks like. The beautiful Ophelia, painted by different painters. She has a habit of collecting flowers, as you can see in the first picture, the second one at the upper part, the right one on the upper side, and the lower one, she is still surrounded by flowers, this fact indicates that her nature is like the flowers, pure. And the last one, the lowest one to the right, she seems depressed. This is the exact milieu, or what should I say? The impression gives us the idea that she is surrendering herself to craziness or madness. In one word, we can say that she is suffering from depression. I have put the summary here only, for the students, those who do not know or may not know the story of Hamlet. You can have a look at the sentences, please, especially the students. And what goes on in the tragedy? The tragedy starts with the current death of King Hamlet, who was the father of Prince Hamlet. After his death, the late king's brother and the uncle of the young Prince Claudius become the king of Denmark. Claudius marries Queen Gertrude in less than 2 months after becoming the king. The actions of Claudius make Hamlet angry. Hamlet becomes angry because how can our mother marry his uncle within 2 months? So he's bewildered or flabbergasted. The ghost of King Hamlet becomes visible to the prince and some others. So Hamlet's father shows himself to him as a ghost. Formerly, people believed that the king died because of the bite of a snake, but the ghost tells that Claudius murdered the king. The ghost says the culprit is Claudius himself. Polonius bids farewell to Laertes and advises his daughter Ophelia not to be involved in any romantic affair with Hamlet. This is very important. This line is, right away connected to the topic, to the paper. Polonius bids farewell to Laertes and advises his daughter Ophelia not to be involved in any romantic relationship with Hamlet. He advises, or what should I say? I should say orders his daughter not to be intimate with Hamlet. Claudius is sure that love is not the cause of Hamlet's odd behavior and makes a decision to send him out of the country. Claudius, that means the present king, the villain. Then Hamlet puts on a play titled The Murder of Gonzago, for being sure of Claudius's crime. You know the play within the play? It is known to us all. On the way to his mother's room, Hamlet finds Claudius alone, who is trying to pray to God for mercy. But Hamlet decides not to bother him in such a condition of mind. Since he's praying, Hamlet just restrains himself or refrains from murdering Claudius. Hamlet enters his mother's room and accidentally kills Polonius, who was hiding. Claudius tells Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to take Hamlet instantly to England. Ophelia has become mad after her father's death. Laertes returns and he blames Claudius for his father's death. Next point, Hamlet writes a letter to Claudius mentioning his return to Denmark from England. Claudius conspires with Laertes to murder him. Gertrude appears with the information that Ophelia has drowned. The fight between Hamlet and Laertes begins. In the meantime, Laertes stabs Hamlet with the poisoned sword. Hamlet passes the Danish succession to Fortinbras just before his death. The last point, the play ends with the death of Hamlet, Claudius, Gertrude, and Laertes. Now, if you please have a look at this picture. Here we see Horatio, Hamlet, and the ghost. Now here we have a depressed, frustrated Hamlet, who is not insane, but who has a disturbed mind. You know, to be or not to be, what to do? Should I commit suicide? Should I take revenge? So he's pondering over it. Here we see a Hamlet right at the middle, wearing a black robe. You know, his attire is black here, which symbolizes, black means despair, what should I say, mourning, grief. This is John Barrymore acting as Hamlet. This is how Hamlet, he is trying actually to kill, but he does not kill. Why? Because Claudius is praying. So who are responsible for Ophelia's madness or craziness? These are the people. Hamlet himself, Polonius, and Laertes. They make Ophelia mad and murder her. If you please look at the first line. The normal and innocent Ophelia's madness advances throughout the play as she faces growingly unfortunate incidents. She starts off happily with Hamlet by her side. At first, everything is okay, but as the time passes on, the things turn around. She has no freedom of choice. The incidents after their separation are doubly upsetting to Ophelia, owing to the terrible way Hamlet begins to treat her. The way Hamlet treats her, his behavior towards Ophelia, his beloved, is unacceptable. This is a poem of 10 lines written by me. A rose she is. Here, by the word rose, I indicate Ophelia. She is a flower actually. She is like a flower, whichever way we may put it. A child in her. She is also a child, childish. Toy she becomes in the hands of Polonius and Laertes. So Polonius, her father, Laertes, her brother, they treat her like a toy. Her lover, Hamlet, detests her. He throws her love away like the garbage in the bin. Alright? So I'm running out of time here. This is a kind of diagram made by me. Hamlet ignores Ophelia, the lower part, please. Hamlet ignores Ophelia. Polonius and Laertes control her life. Hamlet kills her father. She gets mad and dies by drowning. I'm going faster now. Please look at this, the last lines. I loved you not. Hamlet says, irritatingly, being angry. He says, I don't love you. To whom? Hamlet says to Ophelia, I don't love you. Get thee, go to a nunnery. So these words act like, bullets. Like bullets to Ophelia. Again, he attacks. I say, we will have no more marriages. I will not marry you. So you can imagine how psychologically disturbing these words are to Ophelia. So this is how gradually she becomes crazy, insane. Now she is insane. The last words, the quotation, please. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. Now she is crazy. She has no limitations. No one is controlling her. So she is singing. Singing aloud in public is not acceptable. But when someone becomes crazy, she can sing. Normally we see, we notice on the street, mad people, they have a habit of singing aloud. So these are repressed feelings. Like, don't sing. Okay, I will not sing. But once she becomes crazy, she starts singing on the street. Now, this is how mistakenly Hamlet stabs Polonius. Polonius means father of Ophelia. This is how Ophelia drowns. Look all around her, flowers are there. So innocent she looks. I have got 2 minutes left. All right. So Ophelia, this is another point. Fibers. Ophelia, like Cordelia, is a victim of the bitter circumstances. She has hardly any chances to live, to survive. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you have any questions, you are free to ask. No? Later on? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ziaul Haque.